Now we're in Infinite Warfare.
Ah, hmm.
I
I have very mixed
okay.
feelings about
I'm
this. I'll
getting rid of
see.
the meh, and I'm keeping okay. So my God tier, near perfect, great, and okay. Infinite Warfare is okay, obviously. So playing it for the first time, it was okay playing it throughout the competitive year. Infinite Warfare was my favorite year competitively just because Optic was so dominant that year and they won champs obviously. But like it was kind of fun to play. It was kind of like refreshing to play like a um really different jetpack game. It was also kind of one of those where it was kind of fatiguing because that was the third jetpack game in a row. And so a lot of people were really fatigued. They were like, please stop. Please make it stop. And for me, I think that what they really should have done differently was Advanced Warfare and Black Ops 3 were fine being back to back, but they really needed boots on the ground and then maybe another jetpack game, or like two boots on the ground and then a jetpack game. Like Infinite Warfare came at a bad time. I feel like it could have been better if they had not had it as a third jetpack game in a row. And now people have complained so much that I feel like developers are scared to go back to jetpacks, even though the community has never explicitly said never bring jetpacks back. It was just that stop making 3 games in a row where it's just jetpacks. Like, stop. And it's just kind of like, if you were to bring jetpacks back, you've got to do it to where you've got boots on the ground, jetpack, boots on the ground, jetpack, like every other game maybe. Or like once every 2 games or 3 games, like just once in a blue moon, drop another jetpack game, you know. But playing it, so when they were doing the throwback tournaments at the beginning of the off season, I went back and started playing Infinite Warfare. It is actually kind of atrocious. Just the movement mechanic is terrible. Replaying it.
You really think so?
It's okay.
I don't. I love IW's mechanic.
It was just kind of terrible replaying it. Just in terms of like the movement mechanic, like going from like a Black Ops 4 or something to that, it's bad.
I heavily disagree with that.
Like it's just like from going from like one movement mechanic like World War II or Black Ops 4, because I was grinding Black Ops 4 and then I went to Infinite Warfare. So like that movement mechanic was like, it was atrocious from Black Ops 4's movement mechanics, just because like I was used to Black Ops 4's. Like the movement is generally okay. It's just not, you know, it's just kind of atrocious when you're not used to it at first. Like, you have to get used to it a little bit, you know? But that's all I have to say about that. Optic Gaming Dynasty, baby.
I love Infinite Warfare. I think it is great. The campaign, once again, Call of Duty always coming up with something new. Introduced side quests for the first time in Call of Duty history. Side quests. That was awesome. I actually played it through, and I thought it was a very cool story. It was very interesting in terms of how it was presented and how it played out. I need to go back and play it again because to be quite honest, I don't remember too much about it.
Yeah.
The multiplayer was very good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Of course, I didn't grind it as much as I should have. I spectated more games than I actually played in terms of like, because, you know, SCDL, that shit.
Yeah.
I was doing that in IW and Black Ops 3 as well. And the zombies was really I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. I thought it was really good.
I actually haven't played zombies on it.
Oh, dude, I know you've been missing out.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So zombies in Spaceland, and I think another part of why I love it is because it also had like a generational thing. So like, you started off in what seemed to be like the 80s, right? With all the neon and all of, like the cool stuff.
Yeah.
You fought like the boss fight was an alien. That boss fight is fucking difficult, and the more players you have, the worse off it is.
Huh.
Because there's one alien for each player in the game.
Oh,
so
okay.
ideally you want to stick with like 2 players for the Easter egg, and it's actually not too bad.
Yeah.
Once you get used to it. But yes, the special rounds were weird, seeing like clowns, roller skating zombies, you know, all that kind of stuff, instead of like the usual dogs. But they had to do something different, and I think it really worked. You know, it worked for what Infinite Warfare Zombies was. It was supposed to be a production, a movie.
Yeah.
And that's what we got. Then the second map comes around, which I want to say was Shaolin Shuffle. You get brought back to, I want to say, the 70s. And also, each map had a special, like, celebrity. Zombies in Spaceland had David Hasselhoff. Shaolin Shuffle had Pam Grier. That Shaolin Shuffle is one of my favorite maps of all time. It did everything that Origins and Horizon Drac did, but made it way more cartoony. In the sense that it had 4 elemental, or I guess in this case 4 chi styles, which I consider to be the 4 elements. It had an Easter egg that if you understood what you were doing, you could get it done solo. I've gotten to the boss fight many a times, but I never finished it because the boss fight, you know, killed me every time. You fought the Rat King, which was very fitting. You know, and honestly, I love Shaolin a lot just because I think I loved how easy the Easter egg was.
Yeah.
And I love the aesthetic of it too. Like, it's just great. Then you have Attack of the Radioactive Thing, which I'm gonna make a video about why IW is basically a reskin of Black Ops 3 Zombies, because I'll explain later, but
yeah.
Attack of the Radioactive Thing, which is the 3rd map, was a map that was set in the daytime. And it was back in the 60s, and Elvira, or Elvira, however you pronounce it, she was the special guest. Or she was a celebrity of it. And I remember tuning in, watching all of the Zombies YouTubers, Noah J, Mr. Dalek JD, Ninja Nation Gaming, you know, all of them during the Easter egg hunt for this.
Yeah.
And one of the steps was to do math, and that's really what kind of killed Attack of the Radioactive Thing as a map.
Yeah.
It was very cool because you had to know what consistency each, or like, not consistency, but what, like, you needed to know chemistry. And as someone who has wanted to be a chemist, I loved it.
Yeah.
And the boss fight was really cool. I thought they did a really good job. I forgot about Raven the Redwoods, which was the actual second map. My bad. Which was placed in the 90s. But for a first release map being Raven the Redwoods, that was the first DLC. Shaolin was the second. Attack of the Radioactive Thing was the third. Raven the Redwoods was legitimately scary at first, and then it had the neon side of things, which was really cool, as if you were on an acid trip. It was really cool. You know, all of the Easter eggs seem to make, not necessarily make sense, but they were enjoyable.
Okay.
And each map had its own aesthetic. All right.
So I will put that. I made another tier for good tier. I'm gonna keep Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare in that tier.